British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
From the Broadcast Center at BCIT's Burnaby Campus, this is All Talk Radio. You're listening to 1680 The Crow.
Good morning, I'm Cia Forio, and here's your news update to 11. One of Canada's literary treasures has died. Dawn Kelly from the Canadian Press has the details.
Short story writer Alice Munro was 92. She won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2013 and was cited by the Swedish Academy as the master of the contemporary short story. Munro was the first lifelong Canadian to win the Nobel and the first recipient cited exclusively for short fiction. Her intricate tales depicting small-town southwestern Ontario earned her an international fan base and awards including the Man Booker International Prize, the Commonwealth Writers' Prize, and multiple Scotiabank Giller Prizes and Governor General's Literary Awards. Dawn Kelly, the Canadian Press.
Munro's most famous book is The Bear Came Over the Mountain. Another evacuation order was issued yesterday night. David Bowles from the Canadian Press has more on this.
The latest came Monday night when the Peace River Regional District issued an evacuation order due to a wildfire near Doig River 206 in northeastern BC. The community is about 60 kilometers northeast of Fort St. John. Evacuees are being told to go to Fort St. John, where an evacuation help center has been set up. It comes as wildfire continues to rage and threaten communities in that part of BC, including Fort Nelson. Northern Rockies Regional Municipality's Mayor Rob Fraser says they're working hard to get any remaining people to evacuate.
Our Emergency Operations Center called as many as they knew phone numbers for, and we had some takers on that, and some more people moved out of the community.
About 4,700 people live in the town, most of whom have left. David Bowles, the Canadian Press.
While an evacuation order is in place for Fort Nelson, some residents like Dwayne Lowe have decided to stay behind.
We are safe, and we understand that those evacuation orders they can't force you out. So we are here to protect our property and our homes and the livestock. And the land. That's why we're staying.
The fire has since doubled in size. Convicted killer Alan Schoenborn wants to change his name to Ken John Johnson. Schoenborn attempted to have his new name banned from publication, which led to a proposed law changed by the BC government to stop people like him from changing their names. His name change certificate was provided to the family of the victims, who then posted it on social media. The Canadian government is taking several steps to make housing more affordable for first-time home buyers. Our reporter Vivek Nakra explains the effects of this initiative taken by the government in favor of some people.
The increase in time of mortgage is a good thing for first-time home buyers who are planning to buy new homes, while for others that are planning to buy the existing property have no benefit from the scheme. A mortgage broker, Sean Fraser, tells us how it will affect people other than first-time home buyers.
The problem is most buyers are not buying newly built homes. So if someone's just buying an existing property, they're still going to have a 25-year amortization. And so that's going to be a higher payment for those people.
Fraser also says that it is a positive change, but the government would have done something else in a better way. Vivek Nakra, BCIT's The Crow.
Admitted serial killer Jeremy Skibicki is back in court today with testimony from a DNA expert. Skibicki is pleading not guilty to first-degree murder for killing 4 Indigenous women. One of them has yet to be identified but has been named Buffalo Woman from the elders. His lawyers are stating that he is not criminally responsible due to mental illness. Skibicki preyed on vulnerable women at homeless shelters, with the killings being racially motivated. This, according to the Crown prosecutors. Ontario Transportation Minister is cracking down on car thieves. The value of the 68 cars have been stolen so far in 2024 amount to $790 million, according to the Toronto Chief of Police, Demke. Demke also mentions that this is a 106% increase compared to the same period last year. Now let's take a look at the weather. Today will be cloudy with breaks of sunshine with a high degree of 20s and a low of 9. Do expect some rain on Thursday and sadly on the weekend. So when you can, go ahead and enjoy the sunshine. This has been your news update till 11. I'm Sia Florio, BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
This is sports on 1680 The Crow.
Good morning. I'm Matthias Jones with your 11:10 a.m. sports headlines. The Vancouver Canucks return to action tonight for Game 4 in Edmonton. The team has decided to dress defenseman Noah Juleson to replace Carson Soucy. Soucy was handed a one-game suspension for a cross-check to the face of Oilers captain Connor McDavid. The Oilers have also announced that backup goaltender Calvin Pickard will start in net over Stuart Skinner. The Canucks hold a 2-1 series lead heading into Game 4. Canada's World Championship team returns to action at 11:12 Pacific Time today in Prague. They will look to improve to 3-0 in the tournament as they face Austria. Canada has beaten Denmark and Great Britain in their first two games, and Connor Bedard is currently the leading scorer in the tournament. Canada can improve to first place in Group A with a win and surpass Switzerland. PWHL Montreal will play Game 3 of their series in Boston tonight. Montreal currently trails the series 2-0, but forward Kristen O'Neill says the pressure is on Boston.
You know, we are down 2-0 in the series, so we kind of don't have anything to lose at this point. So I think in a different kind of way, it's a great position to be in, so we can kind of wear our heart on our sleeves and just, focus on the moment.
PWHL Toronto lost their first game of the series last night in a 2-0 loss to Minnesota. The team had yet to concede a goal in the series so far. Following a hit, forward Natalie Spooner went to the dressing room and did not return. Fans are left wondering if the PWHL leading scorer will return next game. The series will return to action tomorrow in Minnesota for Game 4 of the best-of-5 series. The 5 former Team Canada World Junior players charged with sexual assault will be in court today. Dylan Dubé, Cal Foote, Carter Hart, Alex Formanton, and Michael McLeod were charged for sexual assault in January following allegations made in 2018. The incident is said to have occurred after a gala celebrating the team's gold medal win. Karen Rebo of Associated Press has more.
All 5 players plan to defend themselves against the allegations and have opted for a jury trial. A trial date has not yet been set. London police initially closed the investigation in 2019, but they reopened it 3 years later without explaining why it had been closed or why it got reopened. Karen Rebo, The Canadian Press.
Over to basketball. WNBA first overall pick Caitlin Clark will make her Indiana Fever debut today. The Fever take on the Sun in Connecticut today. It is said that the arena will be sold out for a season opener for the first time since 2003. The former Iowa guard and national champion will begin her WNBA career at 4:30 p.m. today. In the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder evened up their series with the Dallas Mavericks with a 100-96 win last night. Hamilton, Ontario's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 34 points to propel the Thunder to victory. Here's the final call of the game.
Washington gets it into Doncic at three-quarter court. Takes one dribble, fires a 70-footer. It doesn't matter. It misses, and the Thunder come to Dallas and even the series at 2 victories apiece, getting the Game 4 victory, 196.
The series will head back to Oklahoma City with the series tied at 2 apiece. Canadian swimmer Summer McIntosh set the tone for the Olympic trials in Toronto with a victory in the women's 400-meter freestyle. She finished first in just under 4 minutes to book a spot at the Paris Olympics. McIntosh says it's a good start to the competition.
I think every time I swim 400 freestyle, I learned a little bit more about how to swim the race. I think it's one of the most strategic races in swimming. So, yeah, I'm definitely not happy with that time, but I know I can go faster.
Over to soccer. Team Canada has named Jesse Marsh as their new men's team head coach. Marsh has previously coached Leeds United in England and RB Leipzig in Germany. His contract will run through the 2026 World Cup. A Premier League clash between two giants today could all but decide the title race. Current title holders Manchester City face Tottenham Hotspur in London. Should City win, they will assert their place at the top and be one game away from clinching their 4th title in a row. If Tottenham win, they will move into a Champions League spot for next season, and their rivals Arsenal would become title favorites. Those are your sports headlines to 11:10. I'm Matthias Jones, and you're listening to BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
outdoors, definitely qualify for NCAA Nationals again. And I have my eyes set on the Olympics this year. I've been into the 4x1 pool relay for the Canadian team, and I'm actually heading to World Relays in a couple weeks. Them to realize like how much hard work goes into it and how much like it takes to perform on demand at like these conference championships. It's really an honor to be named, and in front of all my friends and teammates, it's just really nice.
Family supports it, and you know, I think the district council has to move out of the way.
I think at the end of the day, when human rights is our main concern, and violence against women and girls in particular is our greatest concern, we're looking to what are the long-term human rights implications of the project, and how can we protect human rights over the long term.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Teresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretnero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.